Hello. So I'm at a breakfast joint and coffee shop here. Really nice view outside. I want to talk about Akasha and the relationship to non-self. You could look at it from a Buddhistic perspective, but also just very experientially. I find here traveling around the quality of the roads, the twisting and turning, the speed of the buses, the two-lane roads, and everyone's passing each other and trying not to get smashed by cars and zipping in. It can be quite tumultuous. On my system, I find it quite exhausting. And one of the only salves for that experience is to really dive into this non-self, to release into non-self. And so what I tend to experience, and what I'm sure many others can relate to, is a perception of tendrils, these tendrils of identity, these tendrils of experience, and these types of cohesions that occur between the identity and the stimulation of experience through the sense gates. And especially if it's uncomfortable, or in my case, it can become with the motion type issues, quite agonizing. You'll have these discomforts arise, and the mind will try to lock on to these discomforts. When they do, you start feeding those discomforts and creating a bridge and strengthening the bridge between my own perception, my own reality, and that pain and that discomfort. And this is one of the banes of existence in more sensitive type folks, is that while the awareness might be ramped up of different energy, different substrates, and this whole subtle world of existence, there's also a very big and easy potential for us to start identifying with how we experience and with the experience itself, both good and bad, and this can be a problem. So as we release these cohesions, these tendrils, these bridges of identity to our sensory experience, it's literally like a bunch of elastic bands that have been pinned out against the body, or from the body rather, into space. These are these psychological, these mental relationships in the mental space, and it literally feels like elastic bands being pulled out and pinned. As we start releasing these, it literally will feel like you're cutting these tendrils, and as you do, that aspect of the mind that's related to that particular type of experience or relationship to experience itself, it slingshots back in, and this happens again as you keep releasing, and more subtle aspects of our relationship keep releasing into this non-self. We stop identifying with experience, and these tendrils keep getting cut and keep diving into center, we could say. And so what this turns into is a very all-penetrating type of experience, where we start falling into the center of the space, the time that we exist in, beyond the space and time we exist in, like an asymptotic falling into space, falling into center. And this is straight up from Franz Bardon's initiation to Hermetics and his introduction to Akasha. And Akasha, as people know, has an all-penetrating type of quality. It pierces into the essence of reality itself, and it also has an all-expansive quality. And this is something that you can develop very purely through cultivating a relationship of non-self. Now, this stupa you see here behind me is very, very powerful for this type of release. It is reportedly the place where the Buddha's bones have been held for a long time. And I don't know, you'll see down there's people walking around, they have their beads, and I'll throw a little bit of film up at the end if you want to tune in to that stupa, for those of you who have the skills to do so, and get into that frequency. It has a very innate releasing of self. deep stillness inside that. And because there's thousands of people from dawn until dusk circling this stupa and praying and charging it, it's absolutely crazy strong, and this release power that it has emanates out. To me, it feels really like the heartbeat of the entire country of Nepal here. But in closer proximity, it's very strong. So I like to hole up in a place like this, even though it's, a city. It's in Kathmandu. There's not a whole bunch of nature super close by. I'm not in the middle of the mountains, but it's superbly powerful and a wonderful place to sleep near and practice near. So this relationship between Akasha, the all-penetrating nature of the Akasha, the all-penetrating, all-permeating, and omnipresent, all-encompassing nature of the Akasha can be found through non-self type practices. These become one and the same. Now, this experience of the tendrils, these webs of identity that reach out in more and more subtle connections, this is something that we can explore, and these tendrils can then be reallocated to align themselves in specific ways. It feels a lot like who we are extends far beyond the body, right? And so this web, if you've ever watched footage of phasia deep in the tissue, you'll see how it sort of disconnects and reconnects in different ways. It's very alive. This is what it feels like through the entire massive nature of the mental space, through the astral body, and obviously in the physical. So something to explore. It's a really valuable way to find center. It's very simple. And there's, of course, practices that can be done to enhance this. But it's very simple once you start to get a feel for it. What do you identify with? What is you? And let that go one piece at a time. Let those tendrils, that web, start to realign to whatever it is you want, or slam back into center. There's many different avenues that you can explore with this. All right, hope you enjoyed this. I'll throw maybe 20 seconds up at the end of the video here of the stupa for those who want to tune in and meditate on it a little bit. It's a real nice spot. All right, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for your time. Bye.